Elite Facts presents
Surviving wild animal attacks.
7.
Shark attack. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, there is good news. On this planet, there's 150 discovered shark breeds on the planet, and only 20 of those are in fact dangerous to us humans. Well, we imagine more of them can be if threatened, but you know what we mean. The reason for this is because most of those sharks don't see or even treat us like food. The bad news, however, is that if a shark gets interested in you, it will be very difficult to get away from it. This is essentially the water equivalent of trying to outrun a lion. It's just not happening. In order not to attract sharks, avoid getting blood or urine in the water. Blood, definitely, but people have associated urine with being shark repellent when this isn't the case. Sharks can sense the smell from several kilometers away, thus drawing them more to you. If you meet a shark face to face, the last thing you're going to want to do is turn your back on it. And don't try to swim away in panic. By doing this, you'll look like prey. Move slowly, but keep your eyes on it. If it does end up attacking or even catching you in its mouth, aim at the eyes and gills. Those zones are the most sensitive to sharks.
6.
Bear attack. Now, when it comes to bears, there are two different scenarios that you can come across when it comes to a bear encounter. You'll either come across a defensive bear or an offensive bear. Both situations should be dealt with differently. First off, you have your defensive bears. These bears are the ones you come across by accident. This will surprise them, thus making them defensive of their territory. This could also potentially scare them off. If that's the case, you're free to turn around and go back where you came from, so long as you keep an eye on if they're following you or not. If it attacks you with little time to react and you get bit or clawed, waste no time and drop to the floor. When you've done this, use your arms and hands to cover the back of your head and neck and simply play dead until it leaves. Odds are, if it wasn't hunting you, it's not interested in food. It's just being protective of itself and its territory. Offensive bears, on the other hand, are more of a chore to deal with. Offensive bears tend to follow, according to Bill Schneider, the author of Bear Aware and Where the Grizzly Walks, and according to Professor Steve Herrero of the Eastern Slopes Grizzly Bear Project, you should stop moving toward the bear and go back the way you came for at least 400 yards. Once it's out of sight, use a different trail or wait 20 minutes before continuing, making loud noises as you go. If it's fairly close when you see it, do not panic, run wildly, or scream. That may be what the bear wants you to do, thus encouraging it to chase you. As crazy as it may sound, stand your ground, avoid direct eye contact, and if you have it, prepare your bear pepper spray, which you should carry if you're out hiking in an area where bears are frequently seen. Then slowly back away while talking in a quiet, monotone voice until it's out of sight. As you back away, slowly move your arms up and down like you're doing jumping jacks without the jumping. If it charges, stand your ground. Schneider says most charges are actually bluffs to scare you off, like you need help with that. If the bear doesn't stop, use your pepper spray once it's in range. Now, let's say you don't have pepper spray on you. It's said that the best course of action is to make loud noises and wave your arms before it makes contact, and aggressively fight it off with everything that you have.
5.
Bulls. Forget what anyone has ever told you about how bulls react. Jackass star Johnny Knoxville said it best himself. Bulls don't care about the color red. They only care about motion. Now, have you ever wondered why those bullfighters with the red cloths don't get hurt? It's because they're using the motion of the cloth to distract the bulls so that they themselves don't get hit. That is why if a bull is running to you, stand straight and still. Use your hat, t-shirt, or any other clothes as bait. Once the bull comes close enough, throw this item of clothing aside. The bull will run after that.
4.
Lions. Now, this is everyone's biggest fear when planning a safari trip, running into one of the world's most deadliest predators, the lion. Now, all we're going to say is this: for the love of God, don't run. If you think you can outrun a lion, clearly you need to do some self-reflections, because odds are you're not as good as you think you are. Outrunning a lion is impossible, so that's clearly out of the question. The solution for dealing with a lion is a crazy one, but it has proven to work. Now, let's say you run into a lion. What do? Well, first of all, make sure to maintain eye contact. Strange, we know, but by maintaining eye contact, it doesn't give the lion a chance to attack, whereas if you break eye contact or even turn your back to it, it'll waste no time in pouncing you. You should also try to make yourself look bigger. Again, crazy, we know, but by lifting up your arms or a jacket, it makes you look big and dangerous, thus making the predator think twice about attacking you. Probably the craziest of these methods, though, is to try and talk to the lion in a moderately loud and confident voice. Also, make sounds and gesticulate. This kind of behavior is not typical for a victim. It will mislead the animal, and he'll perceive you as an irritation that is better to stay away from.
3,
Gorillas. Now, when it comes to gorillas, there's no need to worry so much. Yes, they can be dangerous, but they won't attack you unless they themselves feel threatened. The thing about gorillas is that they're the kings of jungles, and there's a reason for it. They are real leaders who protect their families and space. They will not attack you if you behave well. If you do come into close contact with a gorilla, first thing you need to do is you need to immediately sit down so that you don't look bigger or taller than them. This to them seems like you're challenging them. Try to whisper and avoid looking straight into its eyes. Now, let's say if this does fail, which as is rather unlikely, and the gorilla tries to attack you, simply roll into a ball. Gorillas are proud animals, and as a rule, they will not attack the weak and defenseless.
2,
Crocodiles and alligators. Without a doubt, some of the scariest creatures on this list are the crocodile and the alligator. They're creatures that, unlike lions and gorillas, will attack you without a second thought. Let's say you encounter one of these creatures. What can you do? Well, first of all, if it manages to grab you, don't try splashing about and wasting your energy. Instead, put that energy into fighting back. Now, we know what you're thinking. Fighting back is only going to make it more angry. Well, this is true. However, much like dealing with a mugger, go for their most vulnerable spots. To crocs and gators, go for their eyes and throats. The eyes and throat of these animals are the most sensitive areas, so aim right there to free yourself. Now, let's say you're in shallow water and there's space between you and the croc or gator. If you notice this predator crawling to you by ground, don't just run in a straight line away from them. Instead, make as much noise as you can and run in a zigzag. This is a case where running and shouting are the best solutions. Now, this is a big one if you're in deep water. If you notice a croc or gator, don't panic, don't shout, and don't splash around. It will attract his attention. Try to swim away as quietly as possible.
1,
Hippos. Don't be fooled by their somewhat adorable appearance. If you've watched this channel long enough, you'll know we've not got good things to say when it comes to hippos. Hippos are so dangerous that more people die from them than from crocodiles. Now, the one thing you've got to realize is that you're not going to outrun a hippo. As crazy as that may sound, it's just not going to happen. Sure, they're massive in size and carry around a ton of weight, but these creatures are known for running at 30 kilometers per hour, and this just makes them more aggressive. If the weather is hot, try not to go into brushwoods. During a drought, the level of water goes down and hippos hide in the tall grass. Running into brushwoods is exactly what they want you to do, so avoid this at all costs. And practice climbing up trees now. If you plan on going to any locations that have hippos in the area, you're going to need to know how to climb trees just in case. This will be the only way that they'll leave you alone. If they start chasing you, climb up a tree, a big rock, or anywhere they can't climb up to, or even a very steep hill. Wait there until the animal leaves. And that's our list. Did we leave any out that you know about? Well, let us know in the comments section below. Please remember to subscribe and tap the bell button so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.